So Zodan Mamdani just became the first Muslim mayor of New York City. And 50 Cent, who is a New York native, is not too happy about that. In fact, he just posted this on his Instagram, saying rest in peace to New York City.
And my job as someone who believes deeply in the public sector is to ensure that we're delivering public excellence. And that means every dollar that we raise, I want to be able to prove to you that it's every dollar that's being well spent.
50 Cent just posted a digital tombstone for New York City saying rest in peace. The reason? The city just elected its first Muslim mayor, a progressive candidate whose tax plan has the city's wealthiest absolutely terrified. Here's the story of how a new mayor sparked a celebrity meltdown, a social media war, and exposed the biggest bluff the ultra-rich have been running for decades. If you love stories about fame, money, and the drama that surrounds it, hit that subscribe button right now for more from the Fame Game. The whole thing started after Zodan Mamdani made history as New York City's new mayor. Not only is he the city's first Muslim mayor, but he's one of the most progressive candidates ever elected.
The working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands.
Mamdani ran on a platform focused on rent freezes, genuinely affordable housing, and even free public transit. His goal is to make life easier for working-class New Yorkers, not to just cater to the city's elite. And that last part is exactly why 50 Cent is now throwing a fit. Right after Mamdani's win, 50 Cent jumped onto Instagram talking about how New Yorkers are
That's
done.
the relationship there, and I do have to say, even though we have a disagreement on tax policy, every time I get a death threat, I still listen to many men.
And Republicans actively protect pedophiles.
He shared a stark image of a tombstone reading RIP NYC, labeling the city's year of death as 2025. Then 50 shared a photo of him having dinner with friends, captioning it, "Escape from New York, hit the road. All roads lead to Shreveport." Now, for those who don't know, Shreveport is a city in northwestern Louisiana. That's where 50 Cent is currently building a massive entertainment and film production hub through his company, G-Unit Film and Television. He's leased studio space, announced a $50 million entertainment district, and is actively branding Shreveport as the new center of his business empire. Essentially, he's telling the industry, if you want to work with him, you're coming to Louisiana.
Here's what's interesting to me. So Mamdani is going to be the new mayor of New York, 34-year-old kid. Like I said, I live in New York. I couldn't vote in that election, but if I could, it would have been an easy choice.
So why is he so mad about the new mayor? Mamdani's plan involves raising the income tax by 2% for people earning over $1 million a year. It would also bump up the corporate tax rate to about 11.5%. Critically, he also wants to fix the broken property tax system that lets billionaire penthouses cost less in taxes than homes in the Bronx. Mamdani is committed to shifting the tax burden away from working-class neighborhoods and toward high-end spots like Central Park South, the places where luxury condos get sweetheart deals while outer-borough homeowners get squeezed. That is why 50 Cent is acting like the city has just died.
I would say to you, 50, if you are indeed watching, or anyone else who's watching this show, is I continue to think that having the top 1% of New York City, who are making more than $1 million a year, having them pay 2% more for an economic agenda that would transform every New Yorker's life, including their own, is something that is worthwhile. I have to say, even though we
If you're finding this story interesting so far, please go ahead and give this video a quick thumbs up. It tells YouTube to share the Fame Game with more people. The comments section, however, absolutely chewed him up. There were countless comments calling 50 a sellout and a hypocrite who forgot where he came from. One person reminded him that when he was shot 9 times, his hospital bill was paid for by taxpayer-funded programs. Another follower wrote, "Your grandma was on food stamps." And that's when comedian DL Hughley decided to send a direct message to 50 Cent. DL Hughley said it was wild to see people like 50 who came from struggle now crying over policies designed to help the same folks they used to be. Hughley pointed out that these rich celebrities had nothing to say when policies like cutting food stamps used hunger as a political weapon. Yet now they're fear-mongering and telling New Yorkers that the man who wants cheaper rent, cheaper public transit, and cheaper food is the one who is ruining the city. The disconnect is staggering. The man who wants to feed you, house you, and help you get around is being called the horrible one by people who claim to be for the people. Eventually, Mayor Mamdani himself decided to clap back at 50 Cent. Mamdani laughed off 50's suggestion that he'd pay $285,750 to leave the city. The mayor explained that 50 clearly doesn't understand how taxing the top 1% would benefit everyone. Mamdani defended the plan, saying having the top 1% pay 2% more for an economic agenda that would transform every New Yorker's life, including their own, is something that is worthwhile. But 50 Cent is still mad. He later shared a clip of Mamdani's response on Instagram. He wrote, "I think his intentions are good, but his tax plan is going to run the big money out of the city, and if he defunds the police, they are going to purge." Now let's unpack that, because what 50 wrote there is a classic, tired scare tactic. First off, rich people threatening to leave every time someone mentions higher taxes is the oldest bluff in the book. New York has been hearing this since the 1970s, but the truth is they almost never leave because they know this city is where the real money is made. Take billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman. Ackman spent months attacking Mamdani during the campaign. He shared racist posts and painted Mamdani as a radical threat to the city. Ackman told everyone he would pack up and move to Florida if Mamdani ever won. But check this out. The second Mamdani was announced as the winner, Ackman completely flipped. He tweeted, "Zodan Mamdani, congrats on the win. Now you have a big responsibility. If I can help NYC, just let me know what I can do." So much for moving to Florida. It was never about leaving. It was about trying to scare people before the election. That's what the rich do every time the balance of power shifts even a little. They talk about fleeing, pretend the economy will collapse, and act like they are victims. But these billionaires do not want to leave New York. This is where their companies are, where the deals get made, and where the investors live. They can't replicate that anywhere else, no matter how low the taxes are. Instead, they bluff. They hope to pressure politicians into backing down. When that fails, they flip the script, play nice, and act like team players all along. This pattern proves the point. Threaten even a fraction of their wealth, and they spread fear. If you appreciate us breaking down stories like this, please hit that like button one more time. As for 50 Cent's claim that the mayor will defund the police, that's not what Mamdani ever proposed. He talked about rebalancing the budget. That means putting more money into housing, mental health services, and community programs instead of pouring millions into a department that still can't stop crime from happening. Cities that invest in people instead of punishment have less crime, not more. That's a fact. 50 Cent's post plays into fear, but that fear only serves the people at the top. While regular New Yorkers worry about paying rent and catching the subway, 50 is worried about a tax hike he can easily afford. That's the disconnect DL Hughley was talking about. The moment someone who built their name on get rich or die trying suddenly acts like the problem is poor people trying to live. This isn't just about 50 Cent having a tantrum. It's about a pattern. Rich folks trying to scare the rest of us into believing that progress is dangerous. Mamdani is talking about making life better for regular people, and that's what has them terrified. Meanwhile, the same people crying, "All right, New York," aren't going anywhere. They're still cashing checks off the same city they claim is finished. Now let me hear what you think about all this. Do you agree with 50 that Mamdani's plan is going to ruin New York? Or do you think that 50 is just another one who forgot where he came from the second he got rich? Drop your thoughts below, and I'll catch you in the next video right here on The Fame